that Dragon Wala series, I forgot the name. That Emily, what her actress name? The Dragon वाला शो जो सीरीज चल रही थी ना उसमें that queen.
Namaste everyone, a very good morning to each and every one of you. I welcome you back to our series of this Sunday Sutra Talks, studying of the Sutras. And as you all know that we are doing the Nikaaya series at 10 a.m. on Saturday. And I would like to welcome our guests for the day, which are Ruchanit Jivane ma'am and Dr. Rajesh Savera. Welcome Rajesh sir, welcome Rucha ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dhruv.
Yeah, so first we'll be
Good
going
morning.
good morning. So for today we'll be doing a practice session first, then I hand over the session to Rucha ma'am for the reading of the day. Yeah, so let us all take our positions and start. And just before we start, I would like to thank the SIP translation team, which is being headed by Rucha ma'am for the Nikaya series, and I also appreciate Rajesh sir and Dr. Lim for bringing these sutras to us. And now I hand over it over to Rucha ma'am.
Thank you too. Welcome all. Today we are going to dive into the Okanta Sanyuta, means linked discourses on arrival at the truth. And today's first chapter is on the I. All the 10 suttas in this SN25 series emphasize that whatever is experienced through the six sense bases, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, are impermanent, decaying, and perishing. Let's unfold what the first sutta has to tell to us. At Savati, because the Chakku I is anicca, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. The Sota ear is anicca, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. The Ghana is anicca, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. The jiva, that is tongue, is a nature, impermanent, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. The kaya, this body, is a nature, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. The chitta, mind, is a nature, subject to change, and is. Can you go to previous slide? Subject to change and of a nature to become otherwise. Because whoever has Saddha, the faith and confidence in these Dhamma, resolves upon them. Such a one is called a Saddha, faith follower. One who has entered the fixed course of rightness, who has entered the plane of the good and has transcended the plane of the ordinary person. They are incapable of performing any action that would lead them to rebirth in hell, the animal realm, or the realm of ghosts. They are also incapable of passing away without realizing the fruit of Sotapatti, the stream entry. Because for whom these Dhamma are accepted after being pondered to a moderate degree with Panya, wisdom, such a one is called a Dhamma follower. One who has entered the fixed course of rightness, who has entered the plane of the good and has transcended the plane of the ordinary person, they are incapable of performing any action that would lead them to rebirth in Niraya, hell, the animal realm, or the realm of ghost. They are also incapable of passing away without realizing the fruit of Sotapatti Phala, the stream entry. Because whoever understands and sees these dhammas in this way is called a Sotapanna, stream enterer, one who is no longer bound to states of downfall, who is firmly destined for enlightenment. That was the first sutta in the series, Doctor. And can we go back to first slide? Here, two types of followers are seen. One is the one follower we can say who has a faith is called as follower of faith, and one who has who is reflecting on the teaching, and both ultimately goes into the stream and become a stream enterer. And the six sense organs, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, are impermanent and perishing. This has been emphasized in this sutta. We would like to know more about this because we are continuously saying Panchaskanda and impermanence attached towards it. But now we are switched to six senses and impermanence of these six senses, Doctor.
Yeah, so here very clear we can see that they are talking about the six senses, the five senses plus the mind, and they are always subject to change based on conditions, situations, circumstances, and hence they are said to be impermanent. And when you look at impermanence, you cannot hold on to something permanently because it's impermanent. It is ever going to change, and that's exactly what the state of shunya is. So when you look at these six, you should understand that when we understand their nature, we will start realizing what Buddha is trying to tell us and teach us, that you should not be attached to this impermanence, because this impermanence will lead you to all kinds of suffering. And hence, one who has this faith that he will not be attached to impermanence will be definitely doing things based on that faith, and he will be believing and trusting the dharma on that faith. And that is why this shraddha that we call, or saddha that is being said, will build the confidence for the person to follow the dhamma. Otherwise, why should somebody even follow panchashil? Because they know that this panchashil is something that needs to be followed every day, because this approach of mine, my understanding is ever changing. My five senses, my mind also keeps on changing, and it's changing because things around it changes. Nothing is permanent. Hence, the only thing I need to hold on to is the faith that by doing good, I'll be able to cultivate goodness, right? So here again, the using the Shraddha, faith, using that as the basis on which you follow something. On the other side is the understanding, the wisdom through which you follow. That is dharma. So using both, one side faith to know that this is right. The other side, analysis and using your wisdom to make sure that what you're following is also right. So both ways, using what we say, the samatha and vipassana point of view, one seeing the balance and the clarity. When you use these twofold methods of faith and the following of your dhamma based on wisdom analysis, I think that's the way you should be able to follow the dharma, and that dharma will give you the confidence of doing something right, because you know that the right will lead you to light. So that is why it is said that even if they want, even if they choose, if they are doing something right, even if they want to choose, then they are fixed in the course of rightness. It's like the tree that Dr. Lim teaches us. It's bent on one side. Whatever happens, however circumstances, it is always going to be falling on the right side, because it's on the bent on that side. So who has entered the plane of good? If you have entered the plane of good because of your moral behavior, because you have been following the Panchashila, you have been following the Dhamma, then you are in that plane of good. And since you have transcended yourself from the ordinary person to a good person, okay, from a vulnerable person to a more person who is following the dhamma, then this person is incapable by any action also whatsoever to be born again into hell. He is never going to be born into the animal realm. He is never going to be born in the ghost realm. Why? Because he's incapable. He doesn't have the capacity, because he's programmed in goodness, and the only place that he will dwell is in the ultimate nirvana. And hence, such a person is called the Strotapana, or Sota Phala, means the stream enterer. Okay, so here it's very nicely said that such people who are living the virtuous life, living the life of the Shila, Panchashila, following of the Panchashila, doing their duty, they will be destined for enlightenment.
Mm. And it seems pretty straightforward way, doctor, also to escape the realm of hell, the animal and ghost also.
Yeah, I think
Yeah. So.
you cannot remain on the edge of something and say that you're safe. You need to get back on the plane, right? You cannot stay at the cliff, at the edge of the cliff, and say you will not fall. You can fall, right? So the best thing is get out of that edge, come into that plane where everything is good, and trust me, even if you fall, you will not fall down so bad. You will not, kill yourself. So here it is all about being good, following the good teachings, understanding why we should be doing and following the Panchashila, and that's the way we should be leading our life. No more questions. Have faith in the goodness. That goodness will lead you to the good destination.
Yeah, doctor. Moving on to next sutta, because these are small suttas in this series, so we can go
Yeah,
through
yeah, fast also, no problem.
smoothly. Yeah, yeah. SN 25.2 form Rupa Sutta. So Rupa Sutta, next slide, at Savati, because Rupas are a nature subject to change and of a nature to become otherwise. Sada, sounds are a nature subject to change and of a nature to become otherwise. Gandha, smells are a nature, the subject to change and of a nature to become otherwise. Rasa, taste are a nature subject to change and of a nature to become otherwise. Potapa means tactile sensations are in nature subject to change and of a nature to become otherwise. Dhamma, mental objects are a nature subject to change and of a nature to become otherwise. Next. So, give me 1 minute, doctor. I'm pulling the word file here. Then, whoever has Saddha, faith, and confidence in this Dhamma resolves upon them, such a one is called Saddha, faith follower, one who has entered the fixed course of rightness, who has entered the plane of the good and has transcended the plane of the ordinary person. They are incapable of performing any action that would lead them to rebirth in Niraya hell and animal realm or the realm of ghost. They are also incapable of passing away without realizing the fruit of Sotapatti Phala, the stream entry. Because for whom These dhammas are accepted after being pondered to a moderate degree with panya, wisdom. Such a one is called dhamma follower, one who has entered the fixed course of rightness, who has entered the plane of the good and has transcended the plane of the ordinary person. They are incapable of performing any action that would lead them to rebirth in Niraya hell, the animal realm or the realm of ghosts. They are also incapable of passing away without realizing the fruit of Sotapatti stream entry. Because whoever understands and sees these dharmas in this way is called a Sotapanna, stream enterer, one who is no longer bound to states of downfall, who is firmly destined for enlightenment. Doctor, here the first sutta was talking about the six sense organs. Now here it's about the sense objects. The eye has the sense object of sights. The ear has sense object of sounds. The nose has smells. Tongue has the taste. And body has touches. And mind, we can say thoughts or ideas are. And all these are impermanent, and the same assurance of liberation for the faithful and the who are following the dhamma, who are becoming wise, is given in this sutta. Doctor, would like to know more on this from you.
Yeah, I think it's pretty very clear that the organ and its object, means the subject and the object, both cannot be trusted upon, both are dependent on so many conditions. Because they are interdependent on so many conditions, for them to even share information, for the organ to receive the object, you need the light, you need for so many other factors that help that experience to be right. So here, when things are so much impermanent, holding on to that will definitely be not the right way. But seeing that as impermanent, that having the faith in doing the good that is to be done, doing what is right to be done, being in that right plane, in the plane of virtuousness, one will be able to transcend this so-called plane of suffering and will never regress back into the animal, ghost, or the hell. And I think it's pretty clear here. Again, a reminder for us that do not get carried away with these small bouts of, you can say, greed, anger, envy, jealousy, and all those things. But try to follow the Panchashila and make sure that you are able to cultivate goodness without harboring any kind of three poisons within you. So that will become like an entry ticket for the other realms. So one understands this,
Mhm.
is a faith follower, is the follower of the dharma. One who analyzes
Mhm.
it is the follower of the dharma, again based on the analysis. So one, again I'm telling that you need to have that faith, not blinded, but here based on analysis and understanding. So here, when people talk about faith, they talk about, you should have blind faith. No, here Buddha is telling very
Mhm.
clearly that on one side you should have a faith following, that is, you should have that shraddha, that faith following. But on the other side, he said, you should also have the wisdom eye when you are doing the following of the dhamma. That means the dhamma follower. So one is the faith follower, the other is dhamma follower. One is, so this kind of faith is called the open-eyed faith, based on no doubt. Because there is no doubt, there is complete faith. And the other place is saying that even if you have doubts, you should, it doesn't matter, you should still have faith. No, no, no. If you are in a state of no doubt, all clarity, complete submissiveness, that faith is called the Dhamma faith. That is where your journey of true faith will begin.
Mhm. Very rightly and minutely, you are describing us this suttas, doctor. We are going deeper and deeper. Let's move to the next sutta, SN 25.3, which is Vijnana Sutta, consciousness. At Savatthi, because Chakku, I, Vijnana, consciousness is anicca, impermanent, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. Sota, ear, Vijnana, Bhana, nose, Vijnana, Jiva means tongue vijnana, kaya body vijnana, mana mind vijnana is a nature impermanent, subject to change and of a nature to become otherwise. Because whoever has saddha and confidence in these dhammas resolves upon them, such a one is called saddha, faith follower, one who is firmly destined for enlightenment. This was the third Sutta doctor, and here there are six types of consciousnesses related with eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, which are also impermanent. And followers of faith here, Saddha, or by wisdom, are protected from the lower realms. Again, it has been expounded here, and they are destined for the awakening. So, would like to know more on this from you, doctor.
Yeah, again, following the same route, Buddha is just making it very clear the organ, the object, and when
Yeah,
the connection between the organ and the object happens when there is consciousness. And when this
right.
consciousness, these six types of consciousness that come along, they all, because the
Hmm.
base itself, the organ is impermanent, the object is impermanent, because they are dependent on so many conditions, so is the consciousness also. And hence, when one knows this, he actually realizes the nature of things, and having the faith that not holding on to impermanence, the person is basically releasing himself from the dukkha. And one who releases himself from the dukkha is able to never ever go back into the realms of the hungry ghosts or the animals or hell itself.
Hmm. Very correctly said, doctor. Let's move on to our next sutta here in this series, SN 25.4, Samfasta Sutta, contact. At Savatthi, because Chakku Samfassa, eye contact, is a nature impermanent, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. Sota Samfassa, ear contact. Ghana Samfassa, nose contact. Jiva Samfassa, tongue contact. Kaya Samfassa, body contact. Mano Samfassa, mind contact, is a nature impermanent, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. Because whoever has Saddha and confidence in these dhammas resolves upon them, such a one is called Saddha follower, one who is firmly destined for enlightenment. Doctor, in this fourth sutta, it is talking about the fassas, the contact. So now there are organs, there are objects, and when these two have the interconnection between them is because of the consciousness. Now, here fourth, we are talking about the contact. The six kinds of contact, eye contact through the mind contact, are impermanent, and stream entry, the sotapanna, is assured for those with the faith or those who are carrying the dhamma, the wisdom, the panya. Would like to know more on this from you, doctor.
Yeah, so here we finished the organ, we finished the object, we finished the connection between both, where consciousness is born. Now, once the consciousness comes in, then these six organs, they are objects, and the consciousness, there comes the fassa, that means contact. Now is the choice whether you will like it, whether the organ likes it, or it dislikes it. And both are contact, both is like a trap in which the person engages in. And hence here it is saying that, remember, the base was impermanent, the consciousness was impermanent, and hence
Hmm.
even the like and dislike on that thing is impermanent. Remember that. So one who understands this again never goes back into those lower realms.
Yeah, yes, doctor. So we will move on to the next sutta, SN 25.5, Samvasaja Sutta, the feeling. At Savatthi, bhikkhus, Vedana born of Chakku Samvasa, eye contact, are a nature, subject to change and of a nature to become otherwise. Vedana born of Sota Samvasa, ear contact, Ghana Samvasa, nose contact, Jiva Samvasa, tongue contact, Kaya Samvasa, body contact, Mano Samvasa, mind contact, are a nature, subject to change and of a nature to become otherwise. Because whoever has Saddha and confidence in these dhammas resolves upon them. Such a one is called Saddha, faith follower, one who is firmly destined for enlightenment. Now, in this fifth Sutta, doctor, they are talking about feelings. And feelings born of these six kinds of contact are also impermanent and perishing. And the same structure is followed, follower of the faith or the wisdom, and these are saved from the downfall, and thus they are bound for awakening.
Yeah.
Would
So
like to
now,
more?
yeah, now we are going from contact between like and dislike. the trap that we are going to be caught into. If one understands that this trap is also an impermanent illusion and one need not go into the like and dislikes of thing, then you see it takes you further into the like will become like a craving of wanting more. The feeling comes in, okay, and dislike will be rejecting and not wanting more. The hate comes in. So now comes love and hate for things, and want and not want for things, and that's exactly the feelings set. And then these feelings, they breed among themselves and they keep on wanting more and then feeling good, and all those feelings start taking shape, and here is now a feeling born because of these things. And trust me, these feelings are also impermanent. One who sees this as impermanent is actually a faith follower, is actually a dharma follower.
Wow. Wow. So we need to go beyond that
Yeah.
to gain entry pass to enter into the stream.
So do not get even attached to, do not think feelings are permanent also. They will change.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
doctor. Moving on to next sutta, SN 25.6 is Rupa Sanya Sutta, the perception. At Savati, because Sanya, perception of Rupa, are impermanent, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. Sanya of sound, Sanya perception of smell, uh, Sanya of taste, Sanya of tactile sensations, Sanya of mental objects are a nature impermanent, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. Because whoever has Saddha and confidence in these dhammas resolves upon them, such a one is called Saddha, faith follower, one who is firmly destined for enlightenment. Now, this was the sixth sutta, and it is talking about the perception. The Sanya, the third factor of Panchaskandha. The Again, there are six kinds of perception of sight, sound, smells, etc., and which are also impermanent. Only the faith and wisdom lay beyond the rebirth in lower realms that has been expounded in this sutta, doctor.
Yeah. So when you look at here, after the feeling, after the Vedana, the next one is starting to perceive it, right? Now you have to, even the thing is gone, even the object is gone, the sense organs is gone, the feelings have gone. Now the perception remains. The whole ideas and concepts of that thing remain within us. And it creates an imprint on which we start again developing the feelings and the cravings and everything. So again, that imprint, that experience itself is impermanent. One who understands this, that experience itself, that imprint itself, that perception itself is impermanent and it is subject to change. Hence, one is not attached to it, is actually a faith follower, is actually a dharma follower, and he'll never ever go back into the realms which are lower than the human realm.
Pretty straightforward, doctor.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to next sutta, which is about intention. SN 25.7, Rupa Sanchetana Sutta. Intention. At Savatthi, because intention regarding forms is a nature, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. Intention regarding sounds, intention regarding smells, intention regarding taste, intention regarding tactile sensations, intention regarding mental objects is a nature, subject to change and of a nature to become otherwise. Because whoever has saddha and confidence in these dhammas resolves upon them. Such one is called saddha, the faith follower, one who is firmly destined for enlightenment. That was the seventh sutta in the series, which was about the intention. Now there are six kinds of intention, and these are also permanent. And stream entry is secured for those who see this with the faith, or we can reflect with the wisdom. Yes, doctor.
Yeah. So again, here the thing that you experience the organ, you experience the object, you had the connection, the consciousness was born, and then you saw that how this consciousness made you choose between like and
Contact.
dislike. Contact came in, then feelings were starting to come within
Feelings.
you. feelings gave you an experience in itself, and then you started to have those imprints of that particular event, and that event took a particular space in yourself, and that perception is where you started to cultivate your thoughts. Again, your organs started to imagine all those things, the craving started to be born. But the most important thing is, now comes the intention, the reason. Then suddenly the intention for wanting it and not wanting it, going after it, not going after it, comes because either if you see it as permanent, if you see as something that you want, you'll go after it because you know that it is there. You want to go back to that past experience. You want to have that, either for love, either for hate. Either in love you will want it to be done again and again, either in hate you would want to go for revenge again and again. So this will still there, the intent will be born at this stage, and because of the perception, because of the image you carry, because now is the interaction between the image and that intention. So here is where the 6 intentions will be born, and this is, again, remember, even the intent is something that is impermanent. So when we tell forgive somebody, we say, do not think that it's a big burden, something that was impermanent. You're just accepting it as impermanent. There was never hate, there was nothing like that in me. So for you to let go of those kinds of intentions that you have in your heart, in your mind, to let go of them, that will be easy. And such a person who sees this easy is the faith follower, is the dharma follower, and he never regresses back into the lower realms.
I have a question.
Yes,
What
Dhruv.
do you mean by never regresses to the lower realms?
Because all the suffering lies in the lower realms, where you hold on to certain things like the intents and the feelings. But if you are not, you're only thinking good and doing good and have cultivated goodness, what is it going to be? If you're having collected all the good in your life, where is there bad going to be there? There's nothing going to be there. There's no revenge, there's no anger, there's no frustration, there's no worry, there's no stress, there's no strain. All this is not there with you. So how can it even affect you? Because you are free from all that. That is why you can never go into that. And so it is again and again telling us, you will never regress below this if you understand the dharma. The dharma, first you should have faith in the words saying and teaching us, and the understanding that this is impermanent. And Buddha is putting it very step-wise,
Very
systematically.
step-by-step.
One after the other he is telling you, right? When he is telling that, okay, I am taking 2 bricks, which is just an illusion, and I am making a house, and then I am putting more bricks and mix. Now the whole castle that is built is also an illusion, because the bricks that were making this castle were all illusion. And when you understand this and you have the faith in the word and you believe in his word, then you are a faith follower. On the other side, because you have an analytical mind, you are able to see clearly, you know that the words have been verified by your own understanding, you are now also a dharma follower.
Yeah.
So based on these 2 things, do you think who is a faith follower and who is a dharma follower will ever regress back into suffering?
No.
Exactly. So that's what he's saying, that you'll never ever fall back into the lower realms.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Here, the best thing you talked about, giving up your intentions also. Sometime maybe the situation occurred, you felt hatred towards something, you felt jealous towards something, or you felt very hurt towards somebody, but you can let that intentions go, and everything will be sorted.
Because that itself is impermanent, right? We saw that. So holding on to something that is not there, there's no anger, there's no hate, there's no delusion, there's nothing. Actually,
Like
there is
the
nothing.
Nirvanshatakam.
Yeah. When there is nothing, what intention are you holding on to? There is nothing.
Heart
Absolutely nothing.
Sutra, I think.
Heart Sutra, the Nirvanshatakam. Everybody tell the same thing, that you. But here Buddha, why he is one of the greatest teachers is, he is giving you not blind following. He's telling you, you first follow me based on your faith.
Right.
But this faith has been
Right.
cultivated based on your understanding,
Verified.
based on your bodhi. Your only bodhi, your understanding, verified, analyzed, scrutinized, whatever you call it, and rationalized approach towards what I am teaching you. On that, once you have faith, then do not have doubt, because doubt will still put you into the race of whether you want to trust or you don't want to trust and all those things. But once you have faith, there's nothing more left. Then you follow the Panchashila, then you follow the Eightfold Path, then you just follow. It's like that.
Mm. Mm. Yes, doctor. Uh, Now we will move on to the next sutta, the SN 25.8 Rupatanya Sutta, cravings for the sight, doctor. So, at Savatthi, because Tanha, craving for Rupa is impermanent, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. Tanha for sounds, Tanha for smells, Tanha for taste, Tanha for tactile sensations, Tanha for mental objects is a nature.
Yeah, I think we have having issues with connectivity. Maybe Dhruv, we'll wait for her to.
Change
Yeah, I think we
and
still
of
have.
a nature to become otherwise. Because whoever has Saddha and confidence in this, that was the eighth sutta forms, makes, etc., and which are impermanent and perishing.
Yeah, I think it's pretty visible out there. Okay, so here again now it's talking about craving. Craving is that wanting. Either you want it. The craving could be both ways, for wanting and not wanting. You crave that this should not happen, and you crave that this should happen. Both ways, craving itself is impermanent. You should know that, because all the material that it is craving for is all permanent. When
Impermanent.
everything is impermanent, where can craving can be permanent? So to be telling that I have this craving, and when somebody tells you to let go of this craving, actually it should be easy, because there is nothing called craving. It is just an impermanent feeling that comes in. It's an impermanent desire, an impermanent intention that comes in, based on all the materials that are built or made out of impermanence. The only thing that is built and made is impermanent, and hence one who understands again this nature of things, the dharma, is a dharma follower. One who actually believes in the words after understanding is what we call the faith follower.
Sorry, I lost my voice, I guess, in between. Are you able to hear me properly now, doctor?
Yeah, 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 absolutely clear.
Okay, so we will move on to next sutta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next sutta is SN 25.9, which is Patvi Dhatu Sutta, the elements. At Savatthi, because the Patvi Dhatu, earth element, is a nature impermanent, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. The Apa Dhatu, water element, the Teja Dhatu, fire element, the Vayu Dhatu, air element, and Akasa Dhatu, space element. The Vijnana Dhatu, consciousness element, is a nature impermanent, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. Because whoever has sattva and confidence in these dhammas resolves upon them, such a one is called sattva, faith follower, one who is firmly destined for enlightenment. That was the ninth sutta in the series, doctor. And after intention, we saw the craving in eighth sutta, and now we're talking about the element. The six elements here emphasized are the four basic elements: the earth, water, fire, air, space, sorry, five, and the consciousness is the sixth one, are impermanent. And again, of the faithful one, the wisdom followers are assured of liberation from the lower rebirths, has been emphasized here. Would like to understand this sutta from your angle, doctor.
Yeah, I think it's following the same thing, that the Pancha Mahabhuta, the five great elements, including the sixth element, that is the consciousness as an element, they are all there, but they do not have a fixed nature. They are dependent on conditions for their manifestation. One who understands this realizes that they don't need to be nihilistic in their view, that they do not exist. Do not be permanentalist in their view, that this is how they exist. They should realize that their impermanent nature is based on the conditions that they acquire or are exposed to. Based on that, they keep on changing their states, they keep on changing their forms. One who understands that becomes the dharma follower, the faith follower.
Yes, Doctor, it's pretty straightforward, but Buddha is giving it so systematically.
Yeah.
So, moving on to last sutta of the series, Doctor, Ascent 25.10, it is about the aggregates, the Kanda Sutta. At Savatthi, because Rupa is anicca, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. Vedana is anicca, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. Saya, Sankara are anicca, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise. Is anicca permanent, subject to change, and of a nature to become otherwise? Because whoever has Vedana, faith, and confidence in these dhammas resolves upon them, such a one is called Saddha, the faith follower, one who has entered the fixed course of rightness, who has entered the plane of the good and transcended the plane of the ordinary person. They are incapable of performing any action that would lead them to rebirth in Niraya, hell, the animal realm, or the realm of ghost. They are also incapable of passing away without realizing the fruit of Sotapatti, the stream entry. Because for whom these dhamma are accepted after being pondered to a moderate degree with panya, wisdom. Such a one is called Dhamma follower, one who has entered the fixed course of rightness, one who has entered the plane of the good and has transcended the plane of the ordinary person. They are incapable of performing any action that would lead them to rebirth in the Niraya hell, the animal realm, or the realm of ghost. They are also incapable of passing away without realizing the fruit of Sotapatti. Because whoever understands and sees this Dhamma in this way is called a Sotapanna, stream enterer, one who is no longer bound to states of downfall, who is firmly destined for enlightenment. That was the 10th sutta in the series about the aggregate. The five aggregates: form, feeling, perception, the mental formations, mental actions, and the consciousness are impermanent. And seeing this truth with faith or wisdom secures stream entry and protection from lower realms. The most intriguing and most uh, important line I feel in this sutta is, Doctor, they are incapable of performing. This sentence has been repeatedly come because one who has that realization, as you have emphasized on not standing on the cliff, edge of the cliff, but who has transited the plane of the ordinary person, they are incapable of performing any action that would lead them to rebirth in Niraya, hell, the animal realm, or the realm of ghost. They are also incapable of passing away without realizing of fruit of Sotapatti, the stream. So this path seems very, definite, doctor, and Buddha is telling so confidently that such kind of person will not have the downfall. Also, he is giving us the assurance that he will not pass away, or that person will not pass away without realizing the fruit of Sotapatti. Yes, Doctor, from we would like to know more from you.
Yeah, so again here it's talking about the Panchaskanda and Roop, Vedna, Sadhya, Sanskar and Vigyan, and we realize that these Panchaskandas are basically again impermanent in nature, ever changing and depending on the conditions. And Buddha again, as you said, rightly said, that here Buddha is telling you that one who has this faith following, who has this dharma following, has the confidence to keep on doing whatever it is. So even if they want to do wrong in the situations, because what happens is in life, we want to do all the good things in life, okay, everything good, we follow the Panchashila, everything. But when circumstances, situations come, they test us whether we will do right or wrong, right? And at that time, for example, you never want to steal, you don't want to do anything wrong, but suppose your mother and father is sick and ill, and you don't have money to buy some medicines, and you have an option that you have the access to a big money of your company, or of somebody who has given you that money, you will be bound because of that emotional thing to take that and use it and break your shila, right? But one who is firm in this, who follows and sees the impermanence of nature, will not get fooled by the
Mm.
feeling of the mother being lost or something. Seeing everything as impermanent, he will not fall into the trap of doing the wrong also. So even if he wants
Mm.
to, even if he wishes to do wrong, he cannot do wrong, because that's how he's conditioned, because he's seeing everything as impermanent. Because he sees everything
Mm.
is conditional, everything is impermanent, he doesn't fall into the trap of doing wrong. And that's why
Mm.
whatever he does at any given point of time, by even not doing anything, when he accepts the reality that he does not have the capacity to take care of his mother and father, and is not able to heal them, is not going to do anything wrong, that is going to do that, will either find a good way to do it, or he will find that he is given up, and he will accept that situation as the situation demands. And so you see, he will never ever fall into that bad realm.
Expounding Dr. Lau, like today's Sutta study was very, systematic, we can say. The very short suttas have appeared, but then again, we have studied that in detail today. So, Doctor, if you want to summarize all the 10 suttas, or if you want to connect the dots, we can go and summarize the
No, I
today's
think
sutta
I
study.
think the essence is that what is repeated is the essence, and if you see, the repetition
Mm.
is again and again. Faith is the
Mm.
basis. The only thing
Mm.
we suffer is because we don't have faith in people, we don't have
Mm.
faith in ourselves, we don't have faith in the things that are happening in the life. We always doubt
Mm.
everything. We have a kind of attachment
Mm.
to the things that we want, things that have been good, and we crave that our mental images and mental imaginations and thoughts, the world should be like that, when reality it could be much
Mm.
better than that. And one doesn't know that,
Mm.
and that faith, the lack of faith,
Mm.
the lack of
Mm.
trust on the words of the Buddha, on the words of the teacher.
Mm.
When I say Buddha, I'm talking about the teacher,
Mm.
and the one who is guiding you, is very important. So
Mm.
if one has faith, he is destined for
Mm.
goodness. One who lacks faith is
Mm.
going to still struggle into trying to be
Mm.
good, right? The effort will be there. The other side is
Mm.
that one who understands the thing by the process of inquiry, rationalizing, studying, is developed the dharma faith, and knows clearly what it means when somebody says something, and does not hold anything for or against somebody, but lives life as it is, and understands that this is the nature of things, ever changing nature of things, and hence even when things change, he is not affected. I think that's where the dharma follower and the faith follower come together and live in life with complete faith, ever accepting
Mm.
the ever changing things that are happening around. Yeah.
Doctor, as we have gone to the impermanence, and repeatedly we have seen the impermanence through the first we talked about the uh, in first sutta we talked about the which are talking about the sense organs. Then we switch to the sides the sense objects of the six kinds, and then consciousness also. Then between the sense and sense objects there is a consciousness that establishes the connection. Then we moved on to the contact of these three, and once there is a contact, then feeling of like dislike will come in picture, and we will form some perception around it. Then comes the intention, whether it is good, bad, whatever. And you emphasized on the importance of one can give away, let go of that intention also. And one who gives away that bad intention, then there is nothing but right things happening in the life. Then we talked about the craving in 8th Sutta, and also the Panchamahabhuta, and plus the consciousness, the impermanence of it, and the aggregates Panchaskanda in last Sutta, seeing the truth with the faith, the Shraddha, and the wisdom. One has the secure place as a stream enterer, the Sotapanna, and it is one gets the protection from the lower realms also. So beautiful study for today's series, Doctor. If we have some questions on it, we can take the questions.
Yeah. If you have any questions, Drew?
Not from me.
Nothing from Dhruv's side. I think that means it is clear. When Dhruv has no questions, means everything is very clear. I think very
Okay.
cleanly expounded,
Yeah.
right? Systematic. And that's the beauty of
Yeah.
Buddha's teaching, when you study it in depth, right? Faith is bound because there are no more questions. And when there are no more questions, the only thing that remains is that we follow what he's teaching and we become a follower. And that's where
Mm.
Buddha is trying to tell us that's the true conversion. When a person who was not following starts following, right? Because many a time a teacher tells, do you follow me? Do you follow me? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
That following is what Buddha is talking, not a following where you take up a statue and start doing your worship and now I'm following. Not that following. Following means exactly what the teacher says. Did you follow what I said? Did you understand what I said? If you can understand, the rest of the journey is all yours. Nothing to worry about. Then you lead yourself to the path, on the path for the destination that you would like to go. Nobody else to guide you, nobody else to tell you, nobody else to interfere with you on your journey.
Mm.
It's all a wholesome journey, all your journey, and all would be amazing for you because it is all yours.
Wow, that's a good way to understand this suttas. Doctor, also Buddha has given two ways. One is Shraddha and one is reflection also. So one, those who can have Shraddha, then they will not have any question and follow the path and practice on the path. And second one is reflection. One can analyze through it, and like you have said, the path itself will become a guide and the mentor.
Yeah, so when faith is there, every study is just for validation. It's not for doubt, it's not to question, it's just to feel good, It's like you validate yourself. Wow, this is it. Yeah, Buddha is saying that. Yeah, I agree. Totally. And everything is just yes, 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 yes. And that's what faith does. So even if all the world says no, faith says yes. All the winds blow to blow off all the fire. That is that faith, that little spark that keeps burning, saying, no, I'll light up the fire again. So that's what faith is. So faith is the ultimate thing, the basis for you
Mm.
to do anything. And if you cannot have that basis of
Yeah.
faith in things you do, in the people you interact with, the country that you live, the region, your own existence, then you will not be able to experience the state of nirvana that Buddha is talking about.
Yes. Thank you for your valuable time. Just quickly, Doctor, I'm with my Pali students here. Congratulations to them. We have run successfully the third Pali stall at Diksha Bhumi, which is the occasion of Ashoka Vijayadashmi. So just they wanted to say hi to.
Hello,
Yeah.
good, good. Continue your study
Okay.
on the Pali text. They are one of the most amazing languages in which the Buddha's words have been captured. Like today's time, Sony camera or Canon camera was the cameras that take a picture. Languages at that time were taking those words and capturing them. And Pali is like a branded, you can say, a camera of that time that captured those words of Buddha for us to see
Mm.
today. Through him, we can
Mm.
witness, through the language, we can witness the Buddha himself. And when we
Mm.
read it, we study it, trust me, it does transform our life. So I think you give when you actually are a student of Pali, you are a student of Buddha himself.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
doctor, for your valuable time. Thank you,
Thank you.
Dhruv.
Thank you.
We meet tomorrow 8:30 for Hindi Agaman session.
Yeah.
Till then,
Okay.
take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
तो अंदर जाओ मैं बाहर हूँ